Hello everyone and welcome back to another beautiful day. Well, technically it is a beautiful day, but it's December and it's already winter time, so it is pretty gloomy. And the snow is coming. Either way, I wanted to show you we have two new births here at the sheep pen. Look at that, we have... Let me just be really clear. We have this sheep. It's 0 months old. So it's a lady, and we have another lady, and we have another lady. Did we have any rams? And yes, we did. So we got one ram and two ladies, and look at that. The genetics seem to be very nice with these animals. And these are also pretty high, So we are doing something right. Now, I have to give them names because I want to, so let's do it like with the random Cheery Summer. Okay, let's have Cheery Summer. He was born at the beginning of winter. Oni, that's quite correct. And Cheery Bella. We have a lot of Cheeries. And well, what about the ram? Nate. Roger that. Alright, I did say I was gonna skip the winter altogether, but this is an event that I really want to share with you, so yeah, this is why I tagged back in, just to show you how we are. Look at them. Newborn. Can't even walk. Aw. How cute. Alright, well, be right back. Alright, well, I decided I'm gonna tag back in now because we are in January. We have around half a meter of snow, but the sheep desperately need to get some water, so yeah, I did walk over with my... Look at that, the trailer is just dancing away. Will I even be able to reverse it? Seems highly unlikely. Okay, let me just empty it like this then. So yeah, basically everything seems to be going well. I just had to give some water to the sheep, and otherwise we are gonna continue skipping time until next time. But yeah, this winter is not as rough as it was before, as previous winters were. So yeah, I'm feeling pretty confident that the snow is gonna thaw fairly quickly, and then we're gonna be able to do some more field work. We do have a lot more fields to cover this time around. Second half of January. Look at the snow cover on this poor stable and the icicles. But we have some more news, and I hope I'll be able to show it to you. But if we check in here, we had another two births. So we have one new goat, 0 months, and we have one new goat ram. Awesome. The genetics. Okay, let's check the parents. Okay, so it's better than dad, and it's better than mom. So yeah, kind of overall improvement. This one is, I think, the same as the mother is, yes. Okay, let's change their names. Bossy, okay. And change to the racer. So let's try and check our racer and Miss Bossy. Where are they? They are probably gonna be pretty hard to find in the snow. Yeah, that's a sheep. Where are you? Are you a goat? You also seem to be a sheep. Okay, what's your name? You're Becky. Okay, no, Becky is a sheep. No, it's a goat. Becky. Okay, you're not a newborn. Where are they laying? This is also a sheep. I gotta be hiding in here somewhere. It's not such a big place. Oh, look at that. Are you a newborn? Racer, yeah. Look at that. Welcome, Racer. It feels like goats are more equipped to walking around, and you should be bossy, yes. It seems that goats are more equipped for running around straight out of the womb. Sorry to be so graphic. Than the other animals are. Such a beautiful morning. Alright, well, we're gonna skip a few more days and see what happens. I know this is gonna be a pretty wild episode, jumping from day to day, but we're in the first half of March. As you can see, there is still a lot of snow. We had a bit more snowfall, so it's around 65 centimeters now. And we had 3 more births. So look at that. We have, let's check, these are all named, and we have 1, 2, and 3 landrace of Bentheim rams. So let's name them all, and let's look at their genetics. They also seem to be pretty good. Awesome. Jacob, sure, why not? Nope. Fast Kirby. Alright, why not? And Colton. Good. Wow. So we have 19 animals in this sheep pen right now. Sheepfold. I think it's designed to go up to 29. But we are gonna be selling a few animals when they grow up, because we can't afford to have too many in the pen, because it can get overcrowded and the animals are unhappy, and that's something I desperately do not want. Okay, let me just close this door. I did prepare, yeah, the tractor with the snowblower, but it keeps snowing us in and I don't really have any work to do, so I just leave it as is. Yeah, March. Very soon the trees are gonna be green. Alright, everybody, so we are now ready to start the day. The snow has thawed completely, the trees are getting green, and I have a whole ton of things that needs taken care of. But first of all, as a priority, everybody needs to get fed. Alright, so we are in year 5. I think we arrived in August, something like that, but we are in year 5 of our life here on the farm. And I have to say, so much has changed since we came here that it feels pretty awesome. Feels like we accomplished a lot of things. Okay, so there's still some manure in the greenhouse. I was honestly expecting there wasn't gonna be any left anymore, but yeah, we're good. We are up to 52,000 euros. This is combined income from tourism and from the selling of vegetables. we can grow vegetables in our greenhouse during winter because we have a lot of we have a furnace in there, and we can make sure that the veggies are warm enough. Just nope, gotta fold the legs, the stands. Okay, it should be folded now. Alright, so the first thing I gotta take care of is I have to go and make rounds around all the pens. I can see sheep are very low on everything. Horses are probably out of oats. So I'm gonna have to take care of that, and I do have to throw some hay bales to each of the animals just to make sure they have enough. And after we are done with animal care, I am planning on doing the cultivation of the fields to prepare them for sowing, and I'll be doing the sowing the next episode, I believe. You know what, before I commit, let's just check the dates. Okay, so I gotta put in sorghum, I gotta put in soybeans. Sorghum, soybeans, okay, I can start doing them in April, that's okay. And I also gotta do wheat, barley, or rye. So barley, yeah, we can do it in April, wheat also, and rye is limited to today. Okay, so we're gonna choose between wheat or barley. And the last one is potatoes. Potatoes can be done in April. Okay, so we're gonna have a sowing / planting episode next time. Yeah, it feels so good to be back again, back in the fields, back in the vehicles. And I gotta say, I have also been toying with another idea, and that is that I potentially get rid of Lamborghini tractor, even though it is a very good tractor, but I might get rid of it, and I might get... Oh, this is still hooked up, I wasn't aware. Right. And I might get an older type of Zetor, so we kind of have a theme, you know. We have a new Zetor, we have an older Zetor, and we have an extremely old Zetor for doing the work on the... Excuse me, I gotta focus. For doing work in the vineyard. Okay, let's load a few bales and let's see who needs some. Probably everybody. Okay, so 3 bales are going to sheep. I can't even fit more in, so I believe that's gonna be fine. And I'm gonna separate a few bales between the cows and between the horses. The horses still have just a little tiny bit of oats left, which is... I was expecting them to be completely out. So yeah, that's good news. Because I really wasn't able to move my wheelbarrow through all that deep snow. And next year I gotta make sure that I put enough in before the snowfall comes, so we actually have plenty of time to refill their stock next year. Gotta make sure I don't go too close, because otherwise my hungry cows are gonna take it all. So yeah, I hope you've all been doing well. I hope life is treating you well as well. And I hope you're excited for a new year's of work as much as I am over here. Alright, so we take 4 bales to the horses. I think that's gonna be a good idea. In 2 months' time, we should be expecting another foal here. Well, the first foal of the farm. I think Miss Jasmine is gonna be ready to give birth by then. Happy animals. Look at how crowded it is in here. Awesome. I love it. Okay, let's give you something to munch on. I know it's last year's hay, but hey, what can you do about it? Yeah, since this is gonna be the first time that I actually put soybeans in the ground and wheat. No, I think I already had... No, I had oats before, yeah. This is gonna be the first time that we're gonna put a few of these crops in the ground. I don't know how much the consumption rate of these seeds are. So I'm kinda worried that I'm gonna have enough of the materials on hand. It might be a good idea to get another pallet of seed before the actual time for seeding comes, so we don't have an issue with that. Alrighty, first load. This should keep him happy for a while still. Okay, and the second wheelbarrow. Beautiful. Beautiful. So this is gonna be about the same amount that I gave them when I first started feeding them, and it lasted for quite a long while. Alright, there's still some water, but it needs to be refilled as soon as possible. But let me take a bit of care of our beautiful horses. Okay, and you... Oh, right, I did forget to show you that I actually put down an oak tree sapling. And it looks like it has grown already. So yeah, as I said before, because those apple trees are not very high and they don't give much in terms of shade, I did put an oak sapling over here, and it looks to be a very healthy tree. And as you can see, it's gonna give our horses a lot of shade during the summer heat, because the sun travels that way, and if the shade is now over there, it's gonna go over the pasture slowly throughout the day. Beautiful. I love it when the plan comes together. Right. Seems like we are all out of water, which probably means that all the plants inside are, yeah, dead. Oh well. Well, we're gonna have a new stock of plants in, so I guess it's good for something, right? Alrighty, so I have checked and we have around 2000 liters of oats still in that box, which should hold us for another year or so. But I am looking at getting rid of it. Well, that sounds rough, but I'm looking at selling our oats and maybe keeping only 1000 liters and in a smaller box, because we are struggling quite a lot with moving these heavy boxes around with our front loader tractor. And it might be a good idea to actually make a bit of, how they say, optimization. Yeah, I thought I was gonna go through. Guess not. And of course, hitting the barrel like it's not even there. Fill it up. And okay, yeah, there's another thing that kind of didn't go to plan, and that is we have a lot of wine in stock and we couldn't sell it because we were too snowed in for that. Let's drop the water over here. And it might be a good idea to make sure we sell it as quickly as we can. Okay, this water tanker is all filled up. Just looking at the cherry trees, some seem to have flowers, some don't. I'm not sure why that is. I do hope the trees are not sick. I'll have to have a look at that. Perfect. Okay, I do believe our animal care is all taken care of, as far as we are concerned in this exact moment. But we are gonna have to take care of that wine situation. I just have to check if we have the right price at the moment. And while we're here, let's check how many seeds we have. We have 720 liters and we still have 405. Okay, we have plenty of seed, no need to do that. And what is this again? And I forgot. Rye, of course. Awesome. Okay, let's check the prices now. So it looks like wine is on the rise, the price. And I'm gonna keep an eye on that for a little bit. And if it stops going up, I'll probably go and sell it. But there's another thing I noticed, and that is we have a few animals that need taking to be sold, and that's one ram, and that is how the rocks are balancing after the snowfall. And this one's even hovering. Something strange is going on in here. Yeah, so we have one adult sheep and one adult ram that need to be taken away just for safety reasons, so they don't mate with each other. Yeah, it's quite funny how, you know, the snow thaws and then you have like tons and tons of work to do and you want to do it all at the same time. But you can't. Yeah. In the end, the only adult animals we want to have in the pen, sheep-wise, is Sheerluck for the rams and Daisy, Marshmallow and Cupcake for the ladies. Get in and let's set them up. Alrighty, so if we check the stats, Xena is an adult, Marshmallow, Cupcake, Daisy stay, and in the ram department we have Lincoln that's all grown up. So let's move. Select it to trailer. Okay. And you ladies are going on to find a new home. I don't expect to get paid too much for them, but, you know, it's more of a technical issue that they have to go. Not so much... It doesn't have much to do with the price. Or the profit, for that matter. So yeah, I've been thinking on the way here if I should get another pig. A lady pig for that. And then I remember that that pig sty doesn't really have a lot of capacity, so since pigs are known to have big litters, like I don't know, 6, maybe 8 piglets. Yeah, we're gonna fill that thing up too quickly, so I can't really afford to get another lady pig, sadly. Alright, 466 euros for both sheep. As I said, nothing to write home about, but it's still some kind of income. Alrighty. In the end, I think it took way less time to actually sort out everything around the animals and even do some additional chores like selling these 2 sheep than I expected it was going to. I was expecting I'd be away on this for a whole day. So yeah, it's a good thing I ain't. Right, now I'm gonna hook up to the cultivator, to the harrow, and I think I'm gonna make myself something to eat. Even though in the end I do only have 3 fields that need to be roughed up, but it might be better if I do all 4 fields, just to be safe, you know. Just to be safe that we're all ready to start putting seed in the ground next time. Okay, well fed and a little rested. Now let's dig in. Okay, it seems that the working speed is around 10, so let's set cruise control to that. And I do believe I'm gonna do this in a manner of time-lapse. So yeah, please enjoy. So this is the third field done, and I gotta say it looks a pretty nice seed bed, doesn't it? Yeah, I do believe we're gonna have a huge crop this year, since we expanded our arable land by a few fold, a few times. Alright, now only one field left to do, and then we're gonna be all done for today. This is a pretty good, I think it's called a harrow, but it's gotta be very, very old, and I am afraid of breaking something, so I should probably service it and put it under cover so we can use it next time in a better way. Yeah, but looking left and right, most of the fields are ready for a new crop. This one looks like it's only been harvested and not yet taken care of. But most things look pretty well maintained. So yeah, from today and until the next episode, I do wanna make a plan where will we have certain crops. Potato harvests seem to be good on this field because it has, how you'd say, a nice rectangular shape. And if we actually get that self-propelled harvester, so at the gears, if we get that self-propelled harvester, I think this field would be a treat to harvest. And we can actually plant it all the way to the edges. But if I'm gonna use my potato harvester, which I'm leaning against at the moment, that might be an issue, so to speak. I would have to leave at least a few tractor lengths of unplanted soil at each side. There's gotta be some winter barley or winter wheat. It's already growing. But yeah, if I go that direction, I would have to leave quite a lot of field unplanted. Whoa, what am I doing? Just for the logistics of harvesting, you know, because you have that big old harvester trail behind and you can't really make sharp turns with it, or you can't really go into neighboring fields. So yeah, I am leaning towards renting a self-propelled potato harvester. Maybe if something comes up in sales, I might even buy it. I also have to buy some sort of cereal crop or grain harvester. That's also on the agenda. We are looking quite good financially though. So yeah, might be in the books that we actually get this all sorted out before the next harvest. And it probably means that I'm gonna have to get yet another shed. Something a bit bigger that can accommodate the harvester. I have seen something that I would like to have, and it's specially designed for storing harvesters in. You even have certain hooks you can put used and spare belts on, so yeah, that's definitely an option. Look at how my hands were shaking. Yeah, went into a completely wrong way. And I have also been on the phone with my neighbor Antoni while I was doing the time lapse. And you know, when I said that I am looking at replacing this tractor with another Zetor, he has that kind of a Zetor that I would like to have. And I did ask him if he's willing to lend it to me for sowing operation, and he said, yeah, sure, no problem. Just top it up with fuel when I'm done. So yeah, I'm kind of looking forward to that. I'm gonna take him up on his offer. Because if it's more maneuverable, or, you know, if it's better in any way, I just might change it out. Don't get me wrong, this Lamborghini is a gorgeous tractor, beautiful. It is area appropriate though. I mean, it is area appropriate because there were quite a lot of Lamborghinis here in the past. But I don't know, I'm kind of feeling a bit to set the theme a bit more in a Polish vibe. More homegrown, so to say. So I don't know, it might be a good idea, it might be a bad one, because this tractor in the end does have 115 horsepower, and I doubt that the Zetor is gonna have more than 90. But you know, for heavy pulling and heavy lifting we have the newer Zetor, and that's doing a tremendous job with it. The only thing that I can see works against it is its limited weight, because I can't seem to lift anything heavy with the front loader. So yeah, it depends. Maybe we get a fourth tractor, the Zetor. But I do have to have somewhere to store it, because I can't leave it outside like it's worthless. And I'm also thinking about selling, you know, that we have that old manure spreader that already came with the farm. I'm thinking of selling that and buying a slurry tanker in its stead. Because right now we are using manure for the greenhouse, but we are not using slurry for anything. And it might be a good alternative to actually put some nitrogen into our grassland, you know. And I don't really see myself using manure that much, because the greenhouse is quite a big consumer of it. So yeah, just might be the way to go. And I'm certain I can get some kind of a slurry spreader for cheap. So we can stink up the place properly. It doesn't stink as bad when you're putting manure down as it does when you're putting slurry down, because of course it evaporates more quickly. So yeah, this is pretty much gonna be it for this episode. It was a bit of a start of a new year kind of theme. Thank you all for watching. I hope you had fun, and join us next time when we continue the adventure with a borrowed tractor. Take care and goodbye.